Hi, I'm Kim and I'm the Lettings Negotiator for Seekers Sales and Lettings. I'm going to be talking to you today about the importance of tenant referencing. So, owning a home is one of the most important and expensive things you will ever invest in, and you don't just want anyone moving in, why would you? In a perfect world, it would be nice to think that once a tenant has been found, you could simply sit back and watch the money roll in. In fact, there are some letting agents that offer only a tenant find service. However, it has been proven to us time and time again that the tenants must always be fully referenced before signing. This is the best way to protect yourself against bad tenants, ensuring they are not only who they say they are, but also giving an insight into the ability to pay the agreed rent and their history of paying rent in the past. Firstly, ensuring the tenant is who they say they are allows us to make an enforceable contract. A tenant giving false credentials is a sign of bad intentions, and it's the same for someone who is refusing to be referenced or reluctant to be referenced. According to the National Landlord Association, 57% of its members say that unreliable tenants are their most worrying problem. 36% have been previously forced to use the courts to seek possession of their property. So what would you say makes a reliable tenant? Well, of course, it's someone who pays their rent full and on time. The tenant also makes sure the utility bills are paid too. They're the kind of tenants who also look after the property and are respectable. They do not make excessive noise or do anything that would lead to a complaint from the neighbours. So, what does referencing require of a potential tenant? Landlord references, though these may not always be available. Employment details. Affordability ratio, which is the ratio between their earnings and the price of the rent. This is to ensure that they can pay for the rent and also sustain themselves, which is simply that their yearly earnings should be 30 times the price of the monthly rent. And details of any bankruptcies, CCJs, IVAs, or previous credit history. Not everyone who fails the referencing process should be turned away. Sometimes it's prudent to consider why. The referencing check will tell you why they have failed, and occasionally these factors should be taken into consideration. For example, as a 16-year-old, an applicant had been fined for littering, which they had neglected to pay. This then resulted in a CCJ that they had found out about years later. Anyone could have made the same mistake. With this in mind, you could contemplate a guarantor. A guarantor is someone who you can ask to pay the rent if the tenant fails to do so. Of course, the guarantor would also need to pass referencing. It is also common for people with bad credit to pay 6 months up front. Although this guarantees your rent is already paid, it cannot prepare you for what comes next. They may not be able to save up that kind of money again, so where will the next 6 months' rent come from? Therefore, it may still be worth asking for a guarantor just for peace of mind. Our job as a letting agent is to find the right tenant is found from the start and then managed well. So that way our landlords can relax and watch the return on their investment. If you would like to know about any more of our services, please call our office on 01622 671 878.